Anarchy. Anarchy is a system where there is no formal government or centralized authority. Instead, individuals and communities govern themselves through voluntary cooperation and mutual aid. Capitalism. Capitalism is an economic system characterized by private ownership of the means of production, where individuals and businesses operate for profit. Markets play a central role in allocating resources through supply and demand. Colonialism. Colonialism is not strictly an economic system, but rather a historical practice where a powerful nation controls and exploits a less developed territory, its resources, and its people for economic gain. Communism. Communism is a socio-economic system where there is common ownership of the means of production and the absence of social classes, money, and the state. The aim is to create a classless society where resources are distributed based on need. Corporatism. Corporatism is a system where the economy is organized into large interest groups or corporations, which work closely with the government to regulate economic activity and resolve conflicts between labor and capital. Dirigisme. Dirigisme refers to a system where the state plays a significant role in directing economic activity, often through central planning and intervention in markets to achieve specific economic outcomes. Distributism. Distributism advocates for the widespread distribution of property and ownership, aiming to create a society of small-scale producers, rather than concentrated wealth in the hands of a few. Feudalism. Feudalism was a medieval social and economic system based on the exchange of land for military service and loyalty. It was characterized by hierarchical relationships between lords, vassals, and serfs. Hydraulic despotism. This system, often associated with ancient civilizations like Egypt and Mesopotamia, relies on control over water resources for economic and political power. Inclusive democracy. Inclusive democracy emphasizes direct participation of citizens in decision-making processes, aiming to create a more egalitarian and participatory society. Market economy. A market economy relies on the forces of supply and demand to determine the allocation of resources and the prices of goods and services. Mercantilism. Mercantilism is an economic system focused on accumulating wealth through trade, often through protectionist measures such as tariffs and subsidies to promote exports and limit imports. Mutualism. Mutualism advocates for voluntary cooperative associations among individuals and businesses, where profits are shared equitably. National Syndicalism. National Syndicalism combines elements of nationalism and syndicalism, advocating for the organization of labor syndicates within a national framework. Network economy. A network economy relies heavily on digital technologies and interconnectedness, facilitating the exchange of goods, services, and information on a global scale. Non-property system. This refers to systems where property rights are either limited or non-existent, often associated with communal ownership or primitive societies. Palace economy. Palace economy is a term used to describe ancient societies where centralized elites controlled resources and distributed them for political purposes. Participatory economy. Similar to inclusive democracy, participatory economy emphasizes direct participation in decision-making processes, particularly in economic matters. Potlatch. Potlatch is a traditional economic system practiced by indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest, involving ceremonial gift-giving to establish social status and reciprocity. Progressive utilization theory, PROUTist economy. PROUT advocates for economic decentralization, self-sufficiency, and equitable distribution of wealth and resources, aiming for balanced development across all sectors. Proprietism. Proprietism advocates for widespread property ownership and self-employment, aiming to create a society of small-scale proprietors. Resource-based economy. Resource-based economy proposes managing resources based on sustainability and efficiency rather than profit, often associated with environmentalist and futurist movements. Social credit. Social credit proposes redistributing purchasing power to consumers through mechanisms such as a universal basic income or dividend, aiming to address economic inequality and stimulate demand. Socialism. Socialism advocates for collective or government ownership of the means of production, aiming to achieve social equality and eliminate exploitation. Statism. Statism advocates for a strong role of the state in economic affairs, including ownership and regulation of key industries, to achieve social and economic objectives. Worker self-management. Worker self-management emphasizes worker control and decision-making within the workplace, aiming to empower workers and eliminate exploitation by capitalists. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, take care and goodbye.